Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome to this reading. So, yeah, I still have to get used to being back in this space. For those of you who are completely new here, this is a channel that I had um, some time ago, and I stepped away from it for quite a while, and I decided to bring it back to life now with a different language in English, because before that it was in German, and also with like a new focus and solely focus on doing all sorts of readings on this channel. So yeah, welcome, and I'm glad that you found this video. I'm glad that you found this message. And like I'm saying, it's still a bit like me getting used to being in this space. And what I realized is that I had to actually reclaim this space for me, because before coming back, and I can tell this is already part of the message that's coming through. So yeah, so there's something about reclaiming spaces. Because there were all kinds of feelings involved when I started to think about coming back to this YouTube channel, to this space that I have created before, and I did not really identify with that much anymore. And it was, for one, it was a process, of course, to allow myself to come back here. But it also was, I had to identify why it was so hard to come back here. And I realized that there are, maybe thoughts about like, okay, expectations mostly from myself, from my past self. Also, like the expectations I had when I started this channel, the people who connected here with me, and what I wanted the space to be. And now to say, like, to reclaim the space and to say, like, yeah, it's not what I intended back then, but that's okay. I can make it something else. I can make it my own. I can make it my own again. And so there is something in here about making peace with those past expectations, with those, with the past experience, to see that it's all part of the process, to see that it's all part of like the path that brought me here to where I am now, and to also, to honor the path. I hear always honor the path, because we are making it way too much about the outcome, about the goals that we set for ourselves, and again, the expectations that we have. And then when those expectations are not being met, we get disappointed. And that prevents us from seeing what maybe the actual lesson was in here, or what it was good for. And we sometimes let opportunities pass by simply because we are too afraid to engage with whatever comes along, in a way that is open and receptive, and like even being open to fail, quote unquote fail, because there actually is no real failure. There are only lessons to be learned. And like saying, okay, the first idea for this channel didn't really work out, or the way I intended it to work out. It was never meant to. The whole purpose of starting this channel was to learn something from it, to step back, to explore other avenues, and now to come back and bring it back to life and make it something new. I hear again, reclaim the space, reclaim your ideas, reclaim the space and make it what it can be right now. Don't cling to past expectations. So this is already this is setting up, or like setting the basic, the basement, the baseline, the foundation. That was the word I was looking for. That is setting the foundation for this reading. So this is like, let's remember that this is the container this whole message is set in. And so we're diving into the message now. I was brought to this doodle, actually, I did the other day, and I was guided to bring it here. I'm not entirely sure why, but we will find out. So this was actually just something I was listening to an audiobook, and I always have to engage my mind in some way when I'm doing something, like when I'm listening to podcasts or audiobooks or something like that. I always have to engage a part of my mind, or otherwise it would just go off on tangents. And so I need to give this part of my mind something to do, and I like to doodle. So this is maybe also some kind of advice coming through for someone already, to recognize where maybe you like to go off on tangents. Okay, so there's something about scattering the energy and not really being able to focus your energy on what is present, like what you actually want to do. Like, for example, listening to an audiobook. And know thyself. Know thyself. Like me, who knows what I'm doing, or what the risk is when I'm only listening to something and looking out the window while doing that. I will 100% sure that I will go exploring the ether with my mind. I will just take a piece of information I get from that audiobook and then just like run with it. So because I want to be able to take in the information that is given to me, I need to engage myself otherwise. So now I'm drawn to this face, to this sleeping face. Is she sleeping or is she resting? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, okay. So resting expectations is not the same as being asleep. So, okay, there seems to be something about having certain expectations towards the self, towards, oh, but I should be able to listen to an audiobook. I'm just sticking with that example. I should be able to listen to an audiobook and at the same time, like, simply focus on that, because I think that's how it's supposed to be. I think that this is something that I should be capable of doing, because this is what we're taught, right? You should be able to just like sit still and listen. This is what we're taught when we are going to school. I'm also getting something about spiritual teachings that are giving us this, like the guidelines of, well, you have to be able to focus your mind simply on one thing, like your breathing in meditation, for example, being able to focus your mind. And while, yeah, of course, it's an amazing skill if you have that, but those very generalized teachings do not really take into account the different aspects of like how people work and how the mind of people work, because not everybody's wired the same way, and we are all wired differently. And I know that my mind is wired in a way that not many people can relate to. And so for me, one of the greatest things was to learn to accept and to really understand, know thyself, to really understand how my mind works and how I'm hardwired. And instead of fighting that and trying to press myself into certain ideas or like structures, external structures that are not suitable for me. And that doesn't mean that I am, quote unquote, asleep. It's actually the opposite. It doesn't mean that I'm like not a quote unquote good spiritual practitioner if I'm not that great at focusing my mind solely on one thing. And I mean, I am capable of doing that, but I also know how to set the stage for me so that I'm able to do that, because I have such a curious and explorative mind that it will take any chance to just take in information and run with it, like I just said. So I'm resting that part because I'm engaging it in something else. So I'm kind of just like a child that you give something to play and you say, okay, while I cook dinner, I have to focus over here. I'm giving that little child something that that I know it likes to play with. And then it is engaged, it is happy because it really likes to play with that toy. And I can be over here and focusing on that. So this doesn't mean that I'm a bad mother. And I'm talking about my inner parts here, like my inner child that I'm giving something to play with, so that the adult can actually focus on like doing that thing that I actually want to do. Okay, so here's something about cut yourself some slack. Don't follow the rules, like what you think things have to be like or are supposed to be so rigidly, but get more curious about like how your mind works, how you function the best way possible. And it's funny that same phrase came out on my other channel just earlier. Throw the rule book out the window. Just do it. Just throw that rule book out. Just allow yourself to throw that rule book out and to make your own rules. Here, live a little. Okay. I want to draw some cards with that and see where this message is leading us. Okay, that one. Okay, so it's feeling weird to me because like I have the camera kind of in my face and I have to work around so it's something like you have to get used to. You have to get used to this new setup, and so it's awkward. It feels awkward. But know that it's all part of the process. Don't doubt. Like I could get doubts about like, can I even like shuffle correctly here? But that is just, it's perfect. It's perfect like it is because it's speaking about the energy, right? So my readings take everything into account that is happening. So when I'm like now, I feel like, okay, I'm shuffling weird, then that is always a sign for me. It's always speaking to me about the energy that's present because nothing happens randomly. So yeah, setting up a new space, reclaiming a space, it feels weird. It feels weird at the beginning, and you feel like a beginner again. Okay. With this time to go and a change in the wind, It does speak a lot about like a new beginning, stepping into something new, something that we're not that familiar with. But with the time to go card in reverse, I feel like there is some kind of hesitation. Where is that coming from? Is it coming from you, or is it... It's meant to be there. Okay, so it's about like, okay, so this is before the change is coming. You can feel a change in the wind. It's like when the wind picks up and maybe changes direction and you're realizing, oh, okay, the weather is changing. But like maybe a storm is coming. Somehow I feel uncomfortable with that imagery of the storm is coming. It's not here yet. So yeah, you can feel that something is coming, and you can tell because the wind is changing, but it's not quite there yet. And this feeling of uncomfortable discomfort with that change, there is a fear of something bad is going to happen, like that storm. There's a storm brewing. Okay, and so like you are meant to sit in that discomfort, and as long as you, because there's something in that you need to work to and through, and so it's not quite time to go yet. And now they are bringing me back to this mind thing, like okay, so a bit of a rigidity in like I think I know. I think that I know how this is supposed to go. And I'm clinging to those ideas, like those rigid beliefs about, well, I have to function in a certain way. It has to happen in a certain way. This is the right way to go. This is how it's supposed to be. But there's something in here about going against your nature with that. Like me forcing to just sit there and listen to an audiobook and beating myself up for not being able to follow along because my mind is just going on a tangent. This is going against my nature. And I can make it happening in an easier way without beating myself up. It's not about being perfect. It's about like going along with what's present, to explore and to okay, now I'm taken out. What's happening? Okay, so there's like, those flow states, them, where you're just on a roll, but then your mind kicks in, or some kind of internal belief system, voices. Like I hear, like right now I hear almost like a bellowing, harsh, almost like a choir of voices telling you that this is not the right way to go. Like you should, all those shoulds, you should be doing this a different way. This is not how it's supposed to be. Like this phrase of something is supposed to be or not supposed to be like a certain way is very present here. Yeah, again, like this rigidity. Those are the rules. You should be following the rules. Again, throw the rulebook out. Throw it out. Write your own fucking rulebook. Sorry for the swearing. Sometimes that just... I can get very passionate when it comes to that topic. Treasure Island. Yeah, this is what's waiting for you. Like when you work through that, whatever this obstacle is that you're in, and the change of wind actually really happens, and it's blowing in a different way, it's actually nothing to be afraid of. Like there is this speaks to me in such a straightforward way. If you just look at the hearts and the stars and the glitter in here. And it's supported by this gorgeous turtle. Somehow this speaks to me about like a higher divine wisdom. And I also see this, I don't know if you can see it, that face in here. In here. So what is it that you're supposed to be doing as long as you are like in this, or is there some advice that we can get with this in-between space? With this yeah, I can hear again, reclaim the spaces you want to go in. There are certain spaces you want to go, but you feel like maybe you feel like you're not ready, maybe you feel like you're not supposed to be there, maybe you feel anxious to go back there. And I mean, those can be literal spaces, like tangible physical spaces, but this can also be spaces inside of yourself, spaces in your mind, a profession. Can I get a few more examples? Relationships. But not necessarily meaning, and it could be like I get something about like going, like bringing back to life old friendships, or maybe relationships with family members, where you feel like I don't have a place there. And Spirit says like, well, if you want a place, it's upon you to reclaim that space there, to reclaim your place. If you want it. So yeah, this can actually really be anything. Okay, so now they're asking me to pull some tarot cards. The tarot always is for me a bit more about like the tangible things, like what can we do to get there, because like this is speaking more about the overall energy, what's going on, and the tarot is always bringing it back to earth, grounded in. Okay, here, cut in 3. And the bottom as well. All right. So we have the 10 of Vessels, the Keeper of Wands, and Apprentice of Vessels. So this card is immediately speaking to me about, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to read the bottom first. Got distracted there. So this is like the overall energy. Is this, yeah, again, like going on a journey, and it's actually like we're further along than where we think we are. We're actually way further than what we think we are, where we think we are. This is more about, because the 2 of Wands is about like this state of dreaming and still making plans but not being out in the world. And the 3 of Wands is the person standing on the shore and waiting for the ship to pick them up. but they already embarked on the journey simply by stepping outside of their comfort zone, outside of their house, and to stand at that shore and wait for the ship, like in a traditional tarot. So yeah, this is what's coming through with that. Like you're further along on your journey than you give yourself credit for. And simply because you're in this pause right now, or in this more reflective state, it doesn't mean that you are stuck, or it doesn't mean that you are not, like, you're always on your path. You're always journeying. Like you from the moment you are born until the moment you die, you're always on a journey. But yes, there are times where we are more in a like resting period. But again, it comes through again with resting is not the same as sleeping. It doesn't mean that you are like really, like you're still engaged with the process in some way. It's just a more passive approach. And okay, never mind. I just got distracted. Okay, so yeah, there's something about expecting something. What was that about? Getting distracted from unimportant things, thinking that they are important, but they're more important than the rest, more important than just being where you are right now. And so because I thought there was another card beneath that one, and I thought it was important, but it was a different card. So I got distracted by that. And it was not important right now. Right now it's important that I'm talking about this one. Or about language is sometimes not that easy. Yeah, about these ones here. So this is what you're supposed to be doing in this resting period, in this time of not being in like active movement, but being more in this reflecting, resting space. And they're actually not giving me a time frame for that. Like it could be that, okay, so I hear spaces within spaces within spaces. So it could be that you are maybe in an like overall rest period and it takes longer, maybe a few weeks or a few days or even months. Or you are in a general, like, yes, you are already starting to move sometimes, but then there are those smaller resting periods within that, and they are important. All right, so yeah, what are we doing in those periods of rest? So the 10 of Vessels is like this card of wish fulfillment, traditionally read as this. It's a kind of 10 of Cups. What I see right now is, yes, that is also the Treasure Island here. These two go together for me. But this is speaking more about a dreamy energy. So this is a period of time where you are actually asked to dream about where you want to go, to create those spaces in your mind, so that you can, like, this is a form of manifestation, right? This is an important part of the creation process, is to, you have to be able to imagine where it is you want to go. Here again, reclaim those spaces. And the first step is to imagine that it's possible, that those spaces exist, that you can reclaim them, and that they are yours. They are yours to take. And that is how this is that this is how this will become a reality. And this is not because, like, if you know the tarot, this daydreaming thing is actually usually more a Seven of Cups energy. But right now, like with the Ten of Cups, this is so much more mature. It's not just oh, I could do this, I could do that, and maybe this, and not being able to decide and just like exploring all of those different ideas. But this is really like focusing, singling in, focusing in on one trajectory you want to go, and really focusing your mental energy there. Daydream about it, feel about it. What does it feel like? How does it smell? How is the lighting? Really get creative with exploring the space you want to be in. What kind of people are there? What kind of ambience do you feel? How do you feel? Yeah, that is a very important one. If we can create the feeling state, oh, okay. And there's a little tip coming through. I love that advice when I heard it the first time. That was like really game changing for me. To like when you dream of those spaces where you want to go, imagine something like a tiny little detail that feels accessible for you. For example, I don't know, you dream of your dream house and it's gorgeous. It's like you really feel so comfortable there. And maybe there is also a partner there with you, and that's your dream person. And your mind could go on like, well, yeah, right, that's so not for us. This is just all like too much, way over the top. So what you can do is that you implement something that you could actually imagine yourself doing, like for example, cooking coffee, making coffee, and drinking coffee in that space with that person in this gorgeous house. So when you do that, your mind goes like, oh, okay, like we know how to make coffee and we know how to drink coffee and we know how to talk with another person over coffee. So that's actually quite believable. So this is a really, really helpful tip if you want to trick your mind a bit. And again, like there's again this thing about it's okay to trick your mind in ways that will actually help you achieve your goals. Like you want to listen to that audiobook, then engage that part of your mind that is not able to listen because it's just too hyperactive. That's just a fact. That's just reality. Same thing with manifestation. Your mind will have doubts about it and will tell you that's not believable. So implement something that will trick yourself into believing it. And that is just that's totally okay to do that. It seems like there's someone pretty perfectionistic when it comes to those kind of things because it's coming through so strongly. Alrighty, let's keep moving on. What about those two? Apprentice of Vessels and the Keeper of Wands, which is the Page. The Page of Cups and the Queen of Wands. The Page of Cups sometimes can be a bit immature when it comes to the emotions, like those internal emotions, and yeah, being a bit but this is how I want it to go. This is so there comes with that, there comes through a bit of a stubbornness with this energy. yeah, a bit immature, emotional immaturity, like a child. I can't have this right now, but I want it. And so this is why I'm throwing a tantrum. Not I'm saying you're doing that, but this is a bit of the energy I'm picking up on here. Okay, I'm drawn to this process of creating this vessel here. It's about creating a new vessel. Maybe your old vessel is, oh, those rules. They were giving you guidelines, they were giving you structure, and like you're clinging onto this old vessel, but it's not fitting anymore. Like you've grown out of that vessel. So sit down and create a new vessel. Write your own rule book. Decide who you want to be, who you want to become, and create the vessel in which you can be that person. And this is not necessarily a space that comes later, like a physical thing. It's an internal thing. It's more like your own mindset. What kind of mindset do you want to have? And that gives you the structure inside yourself to become that emotionally and mentally mature person that you need to be in order to step into where you want to go. And that's where the Queen of Wands the Keeper of Wands comes in, because I feel like the Queen of Wands, I love her. Like she's such an she's so powerful. Like when she is in her highest embodiment, the Queen of Wands is a force of nature, and she's to be reckoned with. And I do have that feeling, like always that feeling about because the Queen is more of a feminine energy, but the Wands themselves are a masculine energy. So in those cards, like the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords, there's so much wisdom inside of them because they are very balanced, because they have both polarities inside of them. While the King of Wands, he can be a bit, I mean, there's also a high and a beautiful embodiment of the King of Wands. But if you let him just like, he's harder to control, let's put it that way. It's harder to embody a really, really aligned and balanced form of the King of Wands because there's like so much fire energy in there. But combined with the water energy of the Queen in that card, I think that's an amazing energy to be in. And this is really bringing it back to that manifestation thing. She is not just daydreaming about it. She knows how to get it. She knows what kind of energy she has to embody in order to create what she wants, because the Queen of Wands is also seen as like the witch of the tarot. Many call her that because like there's a certain kind of magic to her power, which is actually really like this fire energy. Like I'm going after my dreams. And I'm channeling like the energy that I have into this powerful, fiery energy, but at the same time, the introspection and the wisdom of the feminine energy and of the Queen, who is that higher embodiment of feminine wisdom, but also very grounded. Like I say, the tarot always speaks to me about like especially the court cards and the minors are speaking to me about like the more embodied energies. So I think that's it. I think that's all we got. Such a beautiful message. Such an exciting and amazing time. Yeah, so thank you for being here. Thanks for holding the space with me for this longer message. And I'm really excited to be back in this space, to be reclaiming that space. It's a lot of fun. I love it. And it feels very empowering. And maybe that can be some kind of inspiration for you too. I love that. All right, my loves. Again, thanks for being here. I would love for you to maybe leave a comment if you feel drawn to it, or give the video a thumbs up, or even leave a subscription. And I would love for you to see you in the next video. Until then, I give you so much love and take care. Bye.